My next guest is a singer, songwriter, Dove Award winner. He has sung many of the songs that you've probably sung in church, like Give Thanks, Shout to the Lord, and of course, God Will Make a Way, which is the title of his new book. Welcome, Don MOEN.
Hey, great to be with you. Thank you.
How many songs have you written?
You know, I've never really counted them. I know over 100,
Wow.
maybe more, but I don't sit there and count them, keep track.
I love the quote that you have in your book. You said, "My calling in life is to be a worshiper, not just a worship leader."
Yeah, yeah. That's I think everybody's calling. I mean, it's like if you say I'm a worship leader, then it segments you out to this little group of people. But we're all called to be worshipers, 24/7, and that worship is more of a lifestyle than anything else. And it's interesting to me that all through the Gospels, Jesus talked a lot about worship. He didn't talk a lot about music. And these days, we've kind of come to the place where music equals worship, and worship equals music. But worship is a lifestyle.
Okay, so in your earlier days, you wanted to become a Navy pilot, and at one point, a service ranger, forestry service ranger.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
And then you watched a movie that changed things for you. Tell us about this movie that you saw.
Well, I really wanted to be a Navy pilot. I had no idea of making music my career. And my backup plan was to be a forest ranger because I like to hunt and fish. So why not? And then I was raised real conservatively. And I went to college. My mother always told me I could never go to movies because if I did, I'd be left behind. And it was, it scared me, but I prayed about 5 days before I went to see this movie, The Sound of Music. Yeah. Can you believe it?
Yeah.
And, I went there and it was just such an experience to me. The music, just the emotion in it, it really impacted me. And I thought, I've been missing something all of my life. And I just kind of made a decision that music is going to be something I'm going to pursue for the rest of my life.
And your parents had concerns about that because they wanted you to sing or perform for Jesus. It was all about
my mother, she's in heaven now, but I played trombone as well in the jazz band, and she says, "Donnie, they play music with a beat, and when you play music with a beat, people dance, and when people dance, bad things happen." So just kind of a little bit of pressure. In other words, quit the jazz band and all these things. And I remember sitting in a symphony orchestra playing with a 100-piece symphony, and maybe in an opera, the Puccini operas like La Bohème and Madame Butterfly. And I got so emotionally moved by those. And I thought, anything I love this much has to be a sin. So I quit all of that. And I actually quit university. I went back to the north woods of Minnesota, and I became a lumberjack, working in the woods in 30 below zero weather. And after about a year of that, I thought maybe playing violin isn't so bad after all.
Yeah. You joined a group and traveled around for a while, Living Sound.
Yep. I met a group at Oral Roberts University called Living Sound with my good friend Terry Law, and a Canadian guy, and we traveled all over the world together for 10 years, pretty much nonstop. And it was like Bible school and boot camp all in one. We had 3 concerts almost every day. We'd do a morning school, an afternoon school, and an evening concert, and then we'd do the same thing over and over. About 350 days a year we did that. And always staying in people's homes. That's why I have friends all over the world, because that's what we did for 10 years. I did that.
Got married to Laura, continued to travel.
Yeah.
And then decided that you'd go and write some jingles. You wanted to make some money, and obviously you have a family now.
Right. I was, I was always traveling with, the singing group, and while I did that, I started writing some jingles on the side, radio and television commercials for bank and automotive industry, and I kept doing that, and that kind of paid the bills. And it was also real good training for me to be a songwriter, because when I wrote a 60-second jingle, it wasn't like this ad agency was saying, "Oh, brother, that's okay. We don't like it, but it's good. God bless you." You know, if they didn't like the song, I didn't get paid.
Yeah.
So it's real good discipline for me as a writer.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break, but we will be back with our exclusive interview with Don MOEN. Stay with us.